Okay, so I guess I've started. So, um, hello everyone. Let's get straight to it. We are going to learn about drawing lines and shapes and everything related to that in AutoCAD. This is a different software though. This is ZWCAD. I don't have the AutoCAD software right now, but basically AutoCAD is just another software company making a CAD software. CAD is basically computer aided design. Just CAD is one thing and AutoCAD or ZWCAD are different, yet they are the same thing. Like they are just the two different companies but making the same product. Anyways, so the main thing about drawing in anything, this is a grid, okay? This is the drawing plane. As you can see over here, it is drawing1.dwg. DWG is the file format, and these are the function bars. I'll talk about this right now, okay? So now basically for line, you see here is the place. So what you can do is like simply here's all you can see. This is the command box where you can see it is written specify the first point, and over here also you can see specify the first point as any other cursor. So use this point and this that. This is how you basically draw a line. Simple, right? But as you can see, the lines are continuous. Like if I have to just complete this figure, like write this, I have to end this. How to end this? So you have to press enter, or you can just control alt delete. You have to draw a square. This figure is done. Now the line is free flowing. You have to press enter, or you can press escape. So that's it. Both control and escape shows or symbolizes that the current step we are taking is over. So as you can see, this is the specify the next point. It is not the second point, it's always the next point. So when I press enter, that means I'm telling them that the process is done. And same is with escape. Like that's also the usage of escape too, right? So escape and that's done. This is how you draw a figure. But you can see this is not a perfect square. Like if I have to draw a perfect square, I have to like kind of get it perfectly 90 degrees. You can see over here in both the lines, you can see there's this bar which has some numbers on it and this bar with degree. Then get over here and kind of draw these lines and everything, right? Now what's going on? So the one thing which you can do over here is that you can over here below there is written a snap, grid, ortho, polar. These are all the functions of it, okay? So this is the ortho mode. This has to be pressed. This is supposed to be activated or used. So what happens with ortho is the line will always be perpendicular or parallel to the x-axis. So now you can see that even then I cannot draw a perfect square or a rectangle because frankly, like you can see, this is overlapping, right? So you have to, for a square, like you know that this much, then this, but even then I'm not able to draw perfect square. So you have to put in the values. So this is how the crux of drawing lines or distance is. Okay. So as you can see, there are two bars, or rather, even if you see these dotted lines, there's on the left side there is a line which is as the same length as the line which we have drawn, and the next line is, or the next arc is shown, that is the angle. Okay. So the first box, as it is showing the equal length, you can add in the number or the distance of, or the length of the line which you have to draw. So suppose I have to draw a line of 60 centimeter. I'll put in 60. There is no such unit given to it. It's all proportional. 60. I've drawn a 60 okay, this is a smaller line. To zoom in, zoom out, you use the scroll bar, but to drag you have to press the scroll bar and move around. Okay, so to scroll in, scroll out, scroll bar, or to move the page is the scroller. You have to press it and move the mouse simultaneously. Okay, Now again, I have to draw 60, 60. Whichever direction your cursor goes is the direction which it will go. This is 60 and this is 60. I think so. Is it? Yeah, it is a square. So how do you know the line? This is the dimension. I'll 60, 60, 60. Every single line is 60. Now, you can see now this was 90 degrees with ortho on, but what if I want to have it at an angle? So I can draw this line, but I want a line at 45-degree angle, but this is 90. So what you do is press tab. That's it. Tab changes from, now you can see on the left side it shows the line, then other side shows the R. The left side box shows the distance, right? So this is the length of the line is 49.7833, and on the right side you can see the angle is 90. It is in the gray box. What you have to do over here is you can press tab. Now you can select the angle. Now I'll put in 45, and that is it. That is what we wanted to have, right? Angular. Now this is the dimension. This is the annotation block. This is, or the box. This is the taskbar for annotations. Here are the dimensions and everything. We'll cover that in a few of the next chapters. So this is angular. This line and angle between this line and that line, and it is 45 degrees. Okay. In the same way, you can also do this. Draw this line. I'll drag with the cursor, and I want a line which is 60 centimeter in length and at an angle of, now as you can see I already pressed 60 and I entered. That means I've completed that. I gave the length. Now I have to choose the angle. Angle is 45. Okay, so now over here, now this line is at slanting, so we use a line over here. I'll tell you what it actually means and all in the dimension video, which I'm going to post the next. So the next video will be dimension, so just stick around. You will see 45 degree and the line is 60. Okay, so that is how you draw a line. Now next to the line is the polyline. Now remember, like I showed you to that line is this. I'll close the F8. You can, to close ortho or to activate it or to deactivate it, another command is F8, through which you can actually do you can activate it or not. No need to press the button all the time. So this is how you draw a line, right? But notice that even though I'm drawing this line continuously, every single line is different. Like this line is different, this line is seen as 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 different. So why is it necessary is because if every single line is individual and I have to delete all this, I can click on this line, I have to delete this line, then this line, then this line. This is not a singular line. So for that there is polyline. So with polyline, what happens is that a line ends when the direction of it changes, right? A line will end when the direction changes after a point, but in polyline it's different. In polyline, even if the direction changes, it is still considered as one line. So you can see this kind of a web or whatever you can call it. It is a polyline, but it is now a closed figure because I closed it. It's not a line anymore, it's a closed figure. So this is polyline, but if I have to draw something similar like this, you know, with normal line, and we close it like this, this is one whole drawing. This is polyline. On left side is the polyline, and this is the normal line which you have drawn. So notice the difference, that it is not seen as one complete line. Okay. Okay, this is how you drew these lines. Okay, so that's one difference. Another one is, or another one of those factors is a rectangle. Now polyline, that is set of polyline, we can say that complete figure of set of lines, complete closed or not closed. This is a rectangle. Okay, so this is how you draw a rectangle. You go here and go draw this. Now one way of also doing all of this is command. Okay, now let's talk about that first. So like I said, for line you have to draw this and that and that. Okay, But what you can also do is use L and press enter. That's it. You can use L enter. That's the command of it. So no need to press every single button. Use L and use L and enter. Okay, that chose the wrong button. Sorry, I pressed it by mistake. That is L enter. Okay. Now there are also a few other ways of drawing lines. There are rays, that is you draw from here and it is endless. Rays are endless, right? At one point it is fixated. The other point is, or one point is at dead end, the other point is continuous. Otherwise, there is also a X line. This is it. This is an X line, but we barely use this, or at least if you have to use this, you know how to do this. Okay, let's talk about polylines. So how do you draw polyline? P-O-L-I polyline. So for line, you can use L and draw lines. For polyline, you can use PL for polylines. Okay. For rectangle, you can use REC. Okay. So this is how you draw a rectangle. The problem is that you are not setting any dimensions, right? So what you do is, notice what how command box. Look at the command box. Okay. So now in the command box it is written as specify the other corner, but in the bracket it is written as area or dimension or rotation. So if we have to give the dimensions, I'll enter D. Use the first one. If I have to use area, I would use A, or D. Dimensions for D, rotations for R. I'm using dimensions, so I'm pressing D. I'm putting in enter. Now he's asking me for the length. So if I give length 100, and now it would ask me for the width. Now width is 50. Okay. Now here's also another thing, that you can also choose the orientation of it. Like, see how the rectangle is moving. I'll pivot it up. So that basically this was the first point around which you can draw it at any point, right? So most of the time you draw it on a different side, so you can choose on which side or the other side you want it to have, you want it to be. Okay, this is 100 by 50 square. Let me show you. 50, 100. Okay, again I'll talk about dimensions later. Now this is the best part, polygon. Okay, 3D polygon and everything I'll talk about when we cover that chapter. Now in here you can choose, you know what polygon is. Polygon is closed figure with equal amount of equal length, or every single side has equal length and inclined at a equal angle. That is a polygon. Okay, so for example, square is a polygon. Why? Because it has equal length sides. It is a closed figure, by the way. So like it has 4 sides with equal length and 4 angles of equal measurement, so 90 degrees. Hexagon, pentagon, octagon, and all these after that are all polygons. So if I have to draw hexagon, rather let's say pentagon first, pentagon. So like now it is asking me first is enter the number of sides. So I'm adding in 5. Now here comes this another part. It is the center. Now I'll draw the center over somewhere here. Okay. Here. Now enter an option. Now what are options? So you can go on to the command center and you'll ask inscribed in a circle or circumscribed in a circle. It makes a difference. Let's talk about this. Okay. Let me draw a circle. Circle, I'll talk about this in the third video of mine, where I'm going to talk about circles and arcs and draw a figure with that. If I draw a circle of radius 60, and if I had to draw a polygon, and if I choose pentagon, okay, number of sides 5, and I give it the center. Okay, now if I say inscribed, I'll say I. For some circumscribed, it is C. So first letters. Okay, for inscribed it is I. You put in enter and you give it an orientation, so at the node or anything. And if you think it is kind of at an angle, you want it at particular, if you don't draw the circle, press F8. With F8, you can only have the orientation at 90 degree or its multiples, right? So that's how you can choose it. So circumscribe, that is inscribe, that is in a 50 degrees. Okay, so let's draw it again. This is a 60 degrees circle polygon. I'll add 5 here. Option, inscribe, enter, specify the radius. I'll give it a radius of 60. See how it is inscribed in this circle. See this? It is perfectly touching all the circle. That is, it is inscribed. Inscribed, that is the pentagon touches a pentagon is inside the circle of the radius which we have given. How would be the circumscribed? Then if I draw this, sorry, polygon, and I'll give another 5. The center would be this. Now I'm going to draw circumscribe. Okay, enter. And I want it to be of radius again 60. So notice how the difference is. One is when the circle is inside, or rather the circle touches the inside of the pentagon or the polygon, that is circumscribed. But if the pentagon is inside the circle, then it is inscribed in the circle. So pentagon inside the circle is inscribed, pentagon outside the circle is circumscribed. So inside is inscribed polygon, and outside is the circumscribed polygon. Okay, you can draw anything of this sort. Basically, usually hexagons are asked, and the best part about hexagon is that if you inscribe it, whatever the radius you want is actually also whatever the radius you put in is also the side of the hexagon. So if I put in radius inscribed, always remember for hexagon, if it is inscribed, the radius which we set in was 50, and also the side is also 50. Remember this. Okay, that's how you draw lines, basically polygons and normal lines. So now, as I've told you how to draw lines, we'll draw a closed figure now. Okay, now we are drawing this figure 2D by 1. This is 2D drawing number 1 of us. This is not my sums, it is I've taken these sums from online. So what I want to tell you about these drawings is that you should always go clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, so I'll go clockwise. So first of all, I'll draw the baseline. The baseline is 46. Zoom in, drag with the cursor. Then the next line is at 42 and at an angle of 144 to the line 40 with the 46 angle. Now keep this in mind. Okay, F8. Okay, I wanted to show you this arc. Notice how the angle which is shown is 34, 36, everything, but we want that is the angle from the outside, right? We want the angle to be the inside with angle to the line and not to the projection of the line. So what we do is we do simple mathematics with this. That's it. So first of all, in the block which is written 81.6796 is the dimension. So we'll put in our dimensions there. There's nothing in change in dimension. We use tab, and the angle should be 36 because 180 minus 36 144 is 36, and we want this type of an angle, so we'll add in 36. That is the line which we wanted to draw. Now we'll add again F8. F8 is for ortho, that is 20. Then next line is the complete segment is 50, but when it goes up with 10, the distance is 30, so remaining this dimension should be 20. That is 50 minus 30. Then this is 10, this is 30, this is down, we go down, this is 18, this side we go, this is 44, this side we go, which is 18.34. Tab. Yeah, that's how we want it. I made a mistake there. Let's delete this. L enter. Now here it is 18.34. Enter. Now I have to join here, but the dimension is not given, but I am given the dimensions of the line below, right? From here, from this point, which is 9.78. So I'll draw this and then I'll connect this one line, this line. Okay. Now I guess that's it. These are the lines. This is the dimensions of it. Okay. This is 30. This is 20. This line is 1020. This line actually completely is 50. Notice how I use diagonal lines, but I still got the upper line. I'll talk about how this dimensioning works in my next video. Like literally the consecutive video I'm going to talk about is dimensioning. So you see this video, and after that I might have uploaded the dimensions video. If not, then I think so you're really early. Then you can wait and watch how to actually give dimensions correctly. Now you can see, check if I have the correct dimensioning. I have to draw this dimension. 10. Next is align. Align is a dimension method given to slanting dimensions. Linear is always perpendicular or parallel to the x-axis. This is aligned, inclined to the x-axis at a certain angle, which is not neither 0 nor a multiple of 90 or 90 itself. Now for angle, this line, and I'll give you 144. Okay. Now after this closed figure, I'll delete all these dimensioning. Okay. Now I'm just showing you the dimensions of the figure. You know how to do this, right? Dragging this and deleting everything. You use right click, select everything which you want to select, in the green bar, whatever is in the green bar will be selected. You press the left click, delete, or either you can use the left click on a line itself and delete. Right click for selecting a particular, right click for, okay, left click, and sorry, not a right click, okay, left click for selecting an area, or rather continuously pressing it and selecting a particular area. Otherwise you can just normally click to select one singular complete figure, which can be a line or a complete drawing. But you can see this drawing is not one singular polyline, right? You can draw this with a polyline too, mind you. Okay. Otherwise, instead of polyline, okay, instead of this, what we can do is also simply, just like we drew the line, then use the join command. For join command, you can press J. Okay. Otherwise, you can also go in here in the modify section. There is join option. If this orientation of this is different, you can see join option easily. It is symbolized by this kind of a drawing, but it can be anything in the software which you are using. So for join, you have to press every single object and then just press enter. And this is now a complete drawing. It's like a polygon. Okay. So now I also showed you the dimensions of it. And even if we are to the dimensions, we can just check these lines and it will still consider this one line as a singular line instead of one complete figure. And that's how you draw lines. If you have any doubts, if you have any queries, feel free to ask me. I'm active in my comment section. And the next video, I'm going to talk about dimensioning.